after the Duke Blue Devils' improbable collapse last night, just epic choke job. I mean, the most. Is this the Duke 76ers? Is that what they are? But anyway, after, I don't know the history of it. I'm sure people have put it out there already, but one of the biggest choke jobs I've ever seen, anyone's ever seen. There's something people aren't really talking about, and I want to talk about it. There's two things I want to talk about. I think I want to talk about people talking about Cooper Flagg's clutch gene, but also, could he return to college basketball next season, completely upending the NBA draft and ruining the chances of some of these franchises turning it around quicker than it would normally take, because I think he's that good. Let's talk about it, man. Cooper Flagg and the Duke Blue Devils lost a game to get to the championship, a Final Four game, on a 15-3 run in the final 2 minutes. And also, they didn't score a bucket for 7 straight minutes in the second half. I don't even know how that happens. But I will say this. I've said this before, and I want to say it all the time. I'd said, plenty of people said, but I said it too, that Duke's going to have trouble with Houston because of their size and their defense. Everybody knew that. But their defense was out of this world in this game. And it was so much fun to watch a defensive battle. These teams hardly broke 20 points in the first half of this game. The first 10, 11, 12 minutes, Houston didn't even have 15 points on the board. It was a defensive battle. It was so much fun to watch. And the NBA needs to find a way to get this type of basketball in the NBA, because this is so much more entertaining than watching some guy score 70 points because if you breathe on him, he goes to the free throw line. Or he's just wide open all the time because guys are scared to breathe on him. Because, you know what I mean? This was just so entertaining, and it was old school, grinded out basketball. It was the big guys in the trenches getting busy, just so much physicality. This was amazing to watch. If you didn't watch it, don't even watch a recap. Watch the entire game. It was fantastic, and the NBA needs to find a way to bring this type of basketball back to the game, because this blows the NBA out of the water. It just does. Anyway, Duke gave up a 15-3 run in the last 2 minutes. You know, Cooper Flagg had 2 potential winning buckets. He actually had one with 8 minutes left in the game. Not 8 minutes, a minute and 30 seconds left in the game that would have put them up by 8. It was a 6-point game, minute and 30 seconds. He had a jumper, a mid-range jumper on the left side of the floor that would have put him up 8 with a minute and 30 left. I thought that would have been the dagger, and he tried to bank it in and missed it. So we could potentially say 3 missed potential game sealing or game winning shots, whatever you want to say. Houston pulls off a ridiculous comeback. Duke couldn't inbound the ball. They couldn't make a shot. Tyrese Proctor blows the damn free throw that could have iced it. The foul call, I think, on Cooper on the over the back foul call in that situation is a really tough call, but at least it alleviates the narrative that Duke has the officials on their side, or that Cooper Flagg is the favorite. And there's no way all these people that say the game is fixed all the time, there's no way that they're going to allow Duke to lose this game. There's no way Vegas is going to allow it. Cooper Flagg and Duke, they're clearly the favorite. A big call on Cooper Flagg in the game in that situation kind of alleviates that narrative. But anyway, 2 things. Cooper Flagg's. Let's listen to Cooper Flagg's post-game press conference. Try to draw the idea. Try to come to the conclusion. Is it possible that with losing this game, he is going to stay at Duke for another year? Here is Cooper's post-game press conference if you haven't heard it.
I'm a choker. I'm a trash can. And Houston absolutely raw dogged us tonight. And I'm the most unclutch player you will ever find.
All right, this is not real. This is AI, but it's funny.
I have no clutch gene because I was just part of the biggest choke job in basketball history. This was a worse choke job than LeBron in the 2011 finals. I have the same unclutch gene as Diddy James. I'm ashamed that I was a part of it. But I have to say, Zion James and Tyrese Proctor are the main reasons for this choke job. These two are the biggest clowns I've ever seen. Zion doesn't know how to inbound a damn ball, and Tyrese was out there doing cardio the whole game. He went ghost when I needed him most. And I have to admit that after tonight, I don't deserve to be the #1 pick. Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper both clear me. I have to be honest. And John Shire sat me down for 3 damn minutes and let Houston back in the game. He will never be like Mike Krzyzewski. So thank you, John, for making history at Duke tonight. I'm a choker.
I want to talk about Cooper Flagg's clutch gene because that seems to be the narrative. You know what I mean? And here's a decent article that we can react to, kind of talking about it. Fans are saying the same thing about Cooper Flagg after Duke's loss in the Final Four. Number one seed Duke had a 59-45 lead and a 98.5% win probability after 8:17 left to play. They were up 59-45 with 8 minutes left to play. That is unbelievable. They had a 98.5% chance to win. How many people had money on Duke or had money on Duke versus Florida in the championship or whatever? How mad are you guys? How mad are you guys that we're about to win your little bracket tournament thing with Duke going in and they blow that? 98.5% chance to win. At the final buzzer, it was Cooper Flagg and Duke heading home upset. Houston put together a remarkable comeback to earn a 70-67 win and a spot on the national championship game against Florida on Monday in San Antonio. Amid the late collapse, Flagg had a chance to extinguish the Cougars' miracle moment. He got the ball isolated with just under 15 seconds remaining in the game. Shot clock off, and Duke trailing 68-67. What happened next led fans to the same conclusion about the newly minted Wooden Award winner. Flagg went one-on-one with Houston's Jawan Roberts, who played excellent defense on the projected #1 overall pick in the 2025 draft, and missed the potential go-ahead shot. But it fell short and earned him a lot of criticism. Ain't clutch, said a reply of the video on Flagg's shot on X. All right, so we're just quoting anybody on Twitter now. We're not even like... Random person on X said this. Is the clutch gene a thing? Asked a fan on X. If so, it's the only basketball gene in which Flagg isn't blessed. Cooper Flagg is an incredible basketball player, no doubt, but dude has no clutch gene. Every time he's had a game-winning tying opportunity this season, he's blown it. Is clutch gene a real thing? No clutch gene, and it kind of worries me about him. Either you have it or you don't. I see why they compared Flagg to Tatum. Both don't have the clutch gene. I mean, I personally witnessed Jason Tatum drop 51 points on the 76ers in Game 7 of a playoff series, or Game 6 of a playoff series. I don't know. Here's my take on the clutch gene. I think it's fake. It's not a real thing. Do you understand? Dude, excuse me for my allergies. Do you guys, let me know in the comments, do you think the clutch gene is a real thing? It's just a percentage chance. It's just a shooting percentage. Michael Jordan missed 1 million game-winning shots. LeBron James missed 1 million game-winning shots. You only see the ones that they made. At the end of the day, it's a percentage. If he's 45% from the mid-range and he shoots a mid-range, it has a 45% chance of going in. Whether it's in the final minute or whether it's in the first quarter of the game. He's shooting a shot. I don't believe that the shot somehow changes or his release somehow changes or something that leads to the ball not going in because the pressure is higher. I don't think I buy the clutch gene at all. Maybe I don't, because now I just thought of players like Luka Doncic who make some of the most ridiculous shots you've ever seen in your entire life when it's like fading away in the corner at the buzzer, ball's 300 feet in the air, and you're like, that's just going in. I just know it. But I don't really think I believe in the clutch gene, and I don't really think that missing these shots has anything to do with Cooper Flagg's ability to possibly make them, or should have anyone really saying having any type of criticism towards him. He just turned 18 years old. He's going to be the unanimous number 1 pick in the draft if he declares. But me personally, I don't really think I believe in a clutch gene. You guys let me know what you think. What else did I want to say? Oh, yeah. Could Cooper Flagg remain at Duke for another year? Because think about this. And I just said this to somebody last night who came up to me, by the way, which is getting crazy. Somebody just came up to me last night and was like, bro, I love your podcast. And we started talking, and I was like, dude, what if, because they lost this game in the way that they lost this game, what if that makes him want to stay at Duke for another year? Because imagine, dude, you want that national championship on your resume. And as young as he is, if I'm on the outside looking in and I'm not a Sixers fan, and imagine not even being like a basketball fan and just thinking about it outside the box, why would you not come back for another year to try to add that to your resume? Especially the fact these players are getting endorsement money. You know, it's not like back in the day where you weren't making any money and you were like, I'm going to the NBA as soon as possible, especially number 1 pick. I'm getting that guaranteed $30 million. It's going to change my life. I can buy my mom a house. I can do, all this stuff. I can retire my parents. The incentive's a lot higher to get the hell out of college as fast as possible. But now, this dude's on New Balance commercials with Tyrese Maxey. He's making money. I could see it happening. I could see him wanting to come back to chase a championship before he comes to the NBA, especially because he just turned 18 years old. He has so much time to do all the things he wants to do. Do y'all think Cooper Flagg could end up coming back to college for another year? And as a Sixers fan, that would just be the most 76ers thing ever. Imagine the 76ers get lucky in the lottery, end up with the number 1 pick in the draft, and Cooper Flagg decides he's staying at Duke. I don't know if I can take any more heartbreak as a 76ers fan, but if there's one way that the heartbreak could be taken to the next level, that would take the cake, man. Former number 1 pick wants Cooper Flagg to return to Duke. Larry Johnson, first overall pick of the 1991 draft, wants Cooper Flagg to return to Duke. Former NBA star who went first overall says Cooper Flagg should return to Duke. Larry Johnson was the first overall pick of the 1991 draft. If Cooper Flagg declares for the NBA draft, he would immediately become the favorite. Flagg said he wants to return. When did he say that? Flagg has said he wants to return, and a post-top selection wants him to just to do that. When did he say he wants to return? Because people bring that up a lot. Flagg said he wants to return to Duke. People bring this up a lot, and I don't remember him ever saying that. Cooper Flagg coming back next year. I think he needs time to think about it. I think he still declares and gets that money. Wouldn't be surprised if he stays, though. Duke superstar, a month ago, Duke superstar Cooper Flagg says he wants to return. Could stay at Duke, could delay $400 million NBA contract. You guys let me know. I can't really find where he actually said he wants to return. But anyway, what did former number 1 overall pick Larry Johnson declare? Which, by the way, Larry Johnson was a number 1 overall pick. Wow, that might be. I'm not going to say it. It's tough to turn down that money when you know you're going to be number 1, but he's got a great program at Duke. To go back to Duke and spend one more year just to get them skills together a little bit more, I think that would be a pretty good idea. But again, knowing you're going to be number 1 coming out as a freshman, that'd be hard to turn down. You can get hurt doing anything. That's the big great. I love that he said that. I love that he said that. I forgot about this take. I wasn't even thinking about this take. I love that he said that. And it happens a lot with college football players now, where they're they know what their pick is going to be in the NFL draft, and they sit out bowl games because if you get, it's happened before where a player's played in a bowl game and got injured and ruined his potential NFL career. I don't know if it's ever happened in college, but crazy things happen. So I definitely understand that side of it where, bro, what if you play another year and tear your ACL? You know what I'm saying? Knock on wood. I don't want to even put that energy out there, but I could definitely see why you would want to just go straight to the NBA. Despite his Rebels losing the Final Four, Johnson had no regrets. Heck no, he said. In February, Cooper Flagg said he wanted to come back. Oh, I'm glad they put this in there. This is what I couldn't figure out. In February, Flagg said he wanted to come back to Duke. I want to come back next year. I still feel like a kid. This is the only way I've ever known college. That's how I see it. I really wouldn't know how kids felt before, and if this feels different, it feels more like being a professional. It's the same thing for kids in high school, too, getting paid a lot of money. I don't know. I feel pretty normal. Man, I don't know, man. He seems like a really mature, he seems like he just has he seems like he has his head on his shoulders. He seems like a very self-aware, living in the moment kid, man. He seems like he really understands the moment and time and how he feels about it. He could. I don't think it's even. Give me here. Before I get out of here, give me your percentage chance in the comments of Cooper Flagg returning to Duke. I don't think it's as low as people think it is. He would totally upend the NBA draft by staying another year, but I think this brutal loss upped that percentage chance. Let me know what you think, man. I'll talk to you guys soon.